Hello, Dylan, and everybody else, and welcome into another edition of the Sunday Social Podcast. I'm Michael Plant, and with me, as always, to my left is Dylan Clemons. Very grateful to be here for you again. The last week before fantasy playoffs, guys. We're gonna get some sit questions in here going. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out any other videos we have here. Go to fantasy6pack.net, check out the plans. Basically, think of this as like a little preview for the Discord chat. We'll answer all your live set questions there, no matter what time of day. Before we hop in, let's just go over some quick inactives. All right, and this was quite a hassle to find here today, but thanks to Underdog, we were able to get some inactives here officially. Saquon Barkley has been ruled active. Amari Cooper also has been ruled active. Trevor Lawrence is going to play, apparently, with that toe problem after that knee injury. That's going to be interesting. J.K. Dobbins is officially active off of the IR. He's going to be making his debut after the injury. James Washington for the Cowboys is finally coming off the IR to help out with that second wide receiver position, even though Michael Gallup seems to have sewed it up. Mm-hmm. Zay Jones is also active after being on the injury report with the chest, I believe, still from last week. And then some key inactives here. Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks is doubtful. DJ Dallas is even doubtful for the Seahawks. So it looks like a Travis Homer and a Tony Jones Jr. day for the Seahawks, possibly. Then James Robinson has been ruled inactive as well. All right. Those are pretty much all the people there. Nothing for the Eagles, really. No one cares about Trey Sermon anymore. Lamar Jackson has been ruled inactive.
Officially official.
He was doubtful, but, I mean, this is now the officially official report. We already knew Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins are also ruled out inactive for today. Michael Carter is active, returning back from that injury. That's the reason why James Robinson is a healthy scratch, essentially.
Yep.
Other than you got running back Chris Evans for the Bengals, which, you have Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon both active today, so it's not a big deal. Treylon Burks was ruled inactive for the Titans. That sounds like about it right here. The main thing is Saquon Barkley with the neck injury is active. Amari Cooper with the hip injury is active. So those were our main guys this week, really. I know J.K. Dobbins was also questionable as well.
Yeah.
And he is going to be active.
Saquon was the biggest concern, and it's great to see that he's active because I actually just called my brother. I'm like, you might want to monitor this, and he actually went out and picked up Matt Breida this morning, but he ends up not needing him, but maybe he will at some point.
But, before we jump into some premeditated questions here, it looks like we got some live ones real quick from Bob Dole. We love getting questions from you, Bob. We appreciate your support all the time. Good morning to you as well. He wants to know, should he start Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, or Kyler Murray this week? You want to go first? If not, I'll take it away.
Sure. That one's Kyler, man. I think you're going to say the same thing. His mobility is going to hurt the Patriots today. I think we both agree on that. And his weapons should all be good to go. It sounds. Rondale Moore was ruled out, but you still got D-Hop.
That's like a third weapon.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
You got the main ones.
Brown back. Yeah, James Conner's doing well recently, so I like Kyler Murray.
You also got Marquise Brown. DeAndre Hopkins is healthy. He was not on the injury report. It's Murray just because you get the rushing edge. Otherwise, it'd be Geno Smith. He just doesn't have much of a rushing floor. And Bill Belichick has shown that he can't really stop running quarterbacks yet. Mm-hmm. As weird as that sounds, Bill Belichick, the GOAT himself. And then he also wants to know, he's got to sit one. Looks like Derrick Henry, Zeke, or Singletary.
I think you're sitting Singletary this week with Zeke in a good matchup against Houston and Derrick Henry in a pretty smash spot against Jacksonville as well. So I think, unfortunately, Singletary is the odd man out.
He is. Zeke is still involved enough in the offense, and he has a great matchup against Houston, who allow the most points to running backs throughout the year. So it's sitting Singletary this week, Bob, unfortunately. And then his last one here, and I mean, you can ask as many questions as you want, Bob. You're a favorite of us. Lockett or Godwin in the flex, and I'll let you take it because I know your answer.
That one's Godwin too.
Yes, even though it's a tough matchup, it's Godwin. There's a lot of rumors swirling with Fred Warner of the Niners covering up the middle of the field, and that's where Godwin makes his hay. But I trust Tom Brady. I trust Godwin. They will get you more points than Lockett will get with Geno.
Yeah, agree. I agree. What up, Joe?
What's up, Joe? It's nice to see you could wake up.
But yeah, back to just what I mentioned. If you get plus odds on a Zeke anytime touchdown somewhere, you should probably hammer that because I feel like the odds of him falling into the end zone are pretty dang good in that matchup today.
He's like the Jamal Williams of the Cowboys.
Yeah. Just more higher paid, up by a lot.
Yeah. Oh, big time. And yeah, Jerry Jones is up Zeke's butt.
Yep.
But let's go into some premeditated questions.
Hold on, let me give you one that I got from our buddy Justin Myers this morning.
Yeah.
He asked me. Hold on, I probably should have had this pulled up.
You know what? I think he asked me the same question, and I was so
Jerry Jeudy or Marquise Brown for the flex.
I was getting the stream set up, and I didn't get a chance to answer him. My bad, Justin. It's still Marquise Brown for me. All right.
I actually told him Jeudy. So
you like?
Go ahead.
I get Jeudy. I mean, because you get Cortland Sutton's out.
Yeah.
But you're still.
That's my reason.
Yeah, that's your only reason. Is you're relying on the Broncos' offense still, and that's where I want to stay. It's one of those radioactive offenses. If I have another decent option, I'm gonna play over that person. Especially Marquise Brown. It's a solid option. It's not like we're putting Deontay Johnson in there or something. Right. And I know that's always like my go-to for some reason because but I still think it's Marquise Brown slightly over Jeudy because Jeudy is still dealing with the ankle. He was on the injury report. He's just not inactive for today.
Yeah. We got a live question here, Mike. What's up, Brett? Fournette or Kareem Hunt today at RB2? Not a good matchup for Fournette, but I still think it's him.
Better than Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, but that's tough. That does kind of suck because the matchup's not good, and obviously he's splitting work with Rachaad White now. So I 100% get the question, but I think I still lead the PPR volume, Mike. I'm sure that's what you were thinking too. That he's going to see in this game. It's going to make him relevant. He's just probably not going to have a huge game unless he falls into the end zone for a touchdown.
I mean, Fournette's dealing with Rachaad White. The same way Kareem Hunt's dealing with Nick Chubb. Probably Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are doing it at a more of extreme level because Chubb is the main guy. Fournette's kind of giving up that reins a little bit here. But Hunt was only kind of a one-off last week because of Deshaun Watson coming back. I think he might still get involved, but it's not going to be as involved as last week because that was Watson's first time back. I mean, he's usually not one to check it down to the running backs in his career. So I actually kind of was shocked when he started doing that with Kareem Hunt. So I take that as a one-game sample size, and I trust Fournette's multiple-game sample size of getting 5+ receptions throughout the year. Plus touchdown upside there.
I'm with you there, man.
So it's Fournette. What's up, Jason? Happy Sunday to you as well. Hope you're doing good. He wants to know, we play Dobbins fresh off the IR, or are we playing Jeff Wilson, Najee Harris, or Jerick McKinnon over him?
Let's go Jeff Wilson and Najee today. Jeff Wilson's in a good matchup. We kind of just talked about guy get PPR work. Najee might see some PPR work with Pittsburgh today, and he seems to be the best player in the offense again right now, and the most trustworthy-ish, I guess, right?
I guess.
But I'm going Jeff Wilson and Najee.
It's Jeff Wilson and Najee for me too. If this was a game where the Chiefs were projected to be, because I think it'll be an all right game. I don't know if Denver's going to be able to keep up with it, but the Chiefs are not going to need to score a lot to beat them. So I don't see McKinnon being involved a whole lot here. Where if they were like facing like the Bills, the Eagles, or a better offensive team here, where there was going to be some high scoring here, then McKinnon I think would be a little bit more involved. But it's Wilson and Najee for me as well. All right, so let's go to our next question here. Albert, what's up, man? All right, Hollywood Brown or Mike Evans, half-point PPR? Goddamn, Mike Evans question. Here we go.
I think it's Mike Evans, unfortunately. I know it's hard to trust him. Not the easiest matchup, but it's tougher to throw it in the middle of the field against the 49ers. So maybe that opens up the outside for Mike Evans, perhaps. And then it's not like the Niners corners are super good, you know. So I think that's why I lean Mike Evans still slightly.
It really does suck for Evans right now because he's turned into a deep threat in that offense, and it's hard to throw deep if the offensive line doesn't give you enough time. It's really close here. Honestly, I think at this point, Hollywood Brown is the safer play with the volume because Mike Evans isn't even receiving the targets as much anymore. I think he might be a little bit safer this week because Mike Evans has not only been getting the volume, but it's also like a decently tough matchup for quarterbacks is what I'm looking at for the Niners, not the wide receivers, because Tom Brady, he's not going to be able to extend plays with his feet. All right, so if he doesn't get time to throw it to Mike Evans, then I think it's going to be a tough day. And I'm a Mike Evans owner, and I really do think Hollywood Brown is just a slightly bit safer than Mike Evans, but it's not by much.
Sure.
But I won't be surprised if Mike Evans gets 3 touchdowns on my bench.
I was gonna say, what if he just does that today? It's
almost the Gabe Davis scenario thing. And like, do you want to look stupid when Mike Evans gets you 2 touchdowns and he's on your bench? Or do you want to look stupid when Hollywood Brown gets you 2 touchdowns on your bench? I feel more stupid if I bench Mike Evans in that case.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there.
But Rich, nice to talk to you, man. He wants to know Schultz, J.K. Dobbins for a deep flex in PPR. Let's answer that one first. I'll let you go first.
I don't love it here, man, but I think it's Dobbins, right, over Schultz. Because just the game script that's going to be in Houston, that Dallas is going to put this game away early. So Schultz is going to have to be very good early. And he's very, very touchdown dependent for him to hit his ceiling this week. And maybe even his floor if he's not getting a ton of targets, because Michael Gallup's back, obviously. CD's going to get his, Tony Pollard and Zeke both involved in the passing game. With this game script, I think you go J.K. Dobbins. Do you agree, or are you going to go Schultz here?
This is one of those
maybe 10 to 12 touches, maybe.
See, that's the thing, and I know we kind of had this argument a couple weeks back with like Pat Frymuth and Darrell Henderson. It's kind of the same scenario, tight end or an RB. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit different for me because of him coming off of the injury. Like you said, I mean, the last time he came off the injury, he got about those 10 to 15 touches. I was actually shocked I was right about it, but yeah, he got those 10 to 15 touches, like you said. So I think it's a possibility he gets those today. Mm-hmm. But it's also a possibility he gets re-injured. Or maybe, he doesn't do as well coming off of it, and they want to run Gus Edwards and Kenyon Drake a little bit more. So this is a case, I guess, where I slightly go Schultz over J.K. Dobbins just because he's coming off an injury, a multiple-week injury. All right. That was also accompanied with his ACL and MCL tear last year. So I think it's Schultz slightly. And then he wants to know Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert.
Give me Herbert. Give me Herbert in that shootout.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow has been playing really, really well. 0-4 against the Browns.
I was going to say, go ahead, give that stat. I know you like it.
0-4 against the Browns. First 2 games, he didn't get a chance to play him because of his ACL and MCL, his miserable injury and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But since coming back, he's 0-4. I believe the touchdown to interception ratio is 9-7 or 6. So, I mean, it's not great. He gets about 300 yards a game here. But the thing that surprised me most is, my God, this is the team that sacks Joe Burrow the most. So if you do play in a league like I know with us, where sacks are counted against your quarterback, man, I'm leaning Herbert in this one because Burrow just struggles against the Browns. All right. What's up, Dean?
Hey, Dino.
All right. Christian Kirk. I think Garrett Wilson or Mike Evans. He needs to start too.
Oh no. I'm gonna go Christian Kirk here. Tennessee gives up a lot of yards to the slot position, so I'm gonna go Christian Kirk. Wilson and Evans is a tough one, and just kind of foreshadowing. Jason asked a couple comments down for Garrett Wilson or Mike Evans too, so I guess we can kind of answer both of these questions, Mike. Because are you starting Kirk out of those, or were you?
Yeah, it's Kirk for the first one.
Yeah, and then Garrett Wilson's just been awesome the last couple of weeks, so I get the lure of him, and I also get what Mike Evans can do. You know,
last 2 weeks, Mike Evans has 13 total targets. Last 2 weeks, Garrett Wilson has 23 total targets.
And Joe just chimed in too and said Kirk and Evans have definitely are safer, and Garrett Wilson has the upside. I agree,
I don't know if Evans is the safer one, is he? Because of the volume check. It's the volume check because what made Evans so safe in the beginning of the year is 7 targets, 4 targets, all right, 10 targets, 8 targets, 4, 15, 11, 11. The last 3 games, 6, 9, and 4. So, I mean, it's been trending down since Chris Godwin's gotten healthier. So I don't know if Evans is technically the safer play this week because Garrett Wilson, I think of last week with Mike White and Garrett Wilson against the Vikings. They were down, and all they did was just continue to throw it, which just gave Garrett Wilson so much volume. And I think the Bills are up in this game majority of the time, and I think the Jets still keep it competitive. I do think probably Wilson and Kirk for me. I mean, it's the volume.
Yeah, I get it.
15 targets last week compared to 4 for Mike Evans. And like so 15 targets was more than Mike Evans had in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. I hear you. I guess we could ride together, man, with Garrett Wilson over Mike Evans. I'll do that.
It's close, though. It's close.
It really Don't get me wrong. But I'll slightly leading the volume with you. Then we got Danny Dimes or Mike White. And then are you banking on the volume you just talked about with Mike White, or do you want Danny Dimes as rushing floor? What are you thinking here?
I think, I guess Danny Dimes makes it a little bit safer here because of the rushing floor, and Mike White offers you a little bit more of the ceiling because of the passing floor, because Mike White's going to be passing it. Since he's coming for the Jets, he's averaged 300 passing yards a game. This is compared to Zach Wilson's like 172. So, there is a higher ceiling here with Mike White, but Danny is technically the safer option because of that rushing floor.
I think you go Mike White. I think they're the better passing offense right now, which is wild to say. It's the Jets, but I think that's where I lean, and the volume's going to be there. He's going to chuck it 40 times, at least. Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. I can't see Michael Carter being a 25 tote back. Must win, need to get in the playoffs. Yes, sir, Richard.
On with this question, man.
All right, full point PPR needs a running back. Travis Homer or Latavius Murray?
What's your take on Travis Homer, man? Is it around the same as mine that he's kind of going to be the PPR back here and Tony Jones is going to be kind of the early down grinder, or do you think it's going to be mostly Travis Homer? Where are you going? I'm thinking Travis Homer is going to be the PPR guy.
It's possible here because let's be honest. Kenneth Walker was the guy getting the most targets here. After that, that's really just kind of split up. Just blah. You got Homer with 11. You got DJ Dallas with 8. And then I think the one thing that kind of shocks me the most is I'm looking at Tony Jones Jr., the new running back, and last week he got 4 targets right into the mix. So I think Tony Jones Jr. does eat into Homer's PPR value a little bit more. I think they trust Travis Homer more. And he's the early down grinder, I think. But I do like Tony Jones as well. It's just, I want to stay away from both running backs in this offense just because it was Ken Walker's offense. They wanted to run the ball with Ken Walker. They're not going to make this offense centered around Travis Homer.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. It's going to be Geno Smith zinging the ball this week I just can't see it. So if Travis Homer is going to get any points, it's going to be that PPR upside, or maybe he falls into the end zone for a touchdown. I think I do lean Latavius Murray more because of the fact Cortland Sutton's out. You got Jerry Jeudy banged up a little bit. It opens him up a little bit more for the passing game.
Yeah. The problem is with Denver is
just not good.
How many opportunities are they going to have to score? And we see Latavius be touchdown dependent before in his career. But I'm not saying he is today because, like you said, he could see some more targets in the passing game. And that offense is bad, so Russman could just check it down. So I think I'm leaning Latavius Murray there as well. The game script's not good, though. It's not.
But the thing is I'm looking here, and Latavius Murray has been on the Broncos for less weeks than Travis Homer has been for the Seahawks. And I know Homer, limited role or whatnot. But in the 8 weeks, it looks like 7 weeks that Latavius Murray's been on the Broncos. He has more targets than DJ Dallas does on the year. So, I mean, there is a PPR floor here for Latavius Murray the past couple of weeks with the injuries to the wide receivers.
It's nice.
It's not a great floor. Don't get me wrong. It's still the Broncos.
Yeah.
Brian, what's up, man? He wants to. Did we even answer? No, we didn't even answer the second one. That's my apologies, Richard. He needs a quarterback too. Deshaun Watson or Ryan Tannehill?
Tennessee plays Jacksonville. I have a feeling it's going to be the Derrick Henry show. I'm going to bank on the talent of Deshaun Watson, and I think that's where I lean.
All right, I still lean Tannehill here. I do not trust Deshaun Watson yet. We saw what he did against let's be honest, a decent defense. Nothing great, decent from Houston last week. Didn't score a single offensive point, not even a field goal. All right, now we're playing the Dallas Cowboys here. Or no, we're playing the Cincinnati Bengals here. My apologies, I was looking at the wrong name. All right, this is a step up, in my opinion. All right, this defense just beat Mahomes.
Yeah.
So this is a much better defense than I think they get credit for. So I do not trust Watson just yet. I want to see it a little bit more. I want to at least see some offensive points first. I know Tannehill can at least, if Derrick Henry gets tackled down at the 10-yard line, Tannehill can get a play-action boot, get his own rushing touchdowns. Wouldn't surprise me. So I still lean Tannehill with a little bit. It's just a wee bit safer.
I don't see much ceiling for Tannehill this week against Jacksonville, but I'm banking.
I just don't see much floor for Watson yet.
Watson getting another week of practice all week and some more timing now with his receivers, maybe that helps. And that's why I'm leaning him there.
It does help. I think we're a little early on it. The guy, he played one game in over a year and a half, essentially. Yeah. All right, he's had 2 weeks of practice. I mean, I take my profession seriously. It took me like 3 months to learn, a new concept for me for my new job. And I know he's learning a new concept with Kevin Stefanski. So, I mean, it's a little bit different. I get it. He's a professional football player. I'm not doing professional football, but he's a human just like everybody else. It takes some learning here. So I just want to see it first one more week before we hop on the Watson bandwagon. All right, now we'll go on to Brian here. Rashad White or James Cook, half-point PPR?
That one's still Rashad White for me slightly. Both in splits. Yeah, both in splits. Just Brady's going to check the ball down a whole lot more than Josh Allen. That's 100% certain.
This is true, and they're also good. I mean, we're looking at two offenses that don't run the ball a whole lot either. I mean, the Bills don't run the ball with the running backs a whole lot, and the Tampa Bay Bucks can't run with the running backs. So it is Rashad White here, just slightly with a safer floor.
James White.
James White.
Flashback, man. James Cook definitely deserves to be rostered, though.
I saw James White after the touchdown from Rashad White last week. He tweeted out and he said, you look like you're part of the family already.
That's funny.
I think that's what he said. But awesome. It was pretty funny because there is no relation there, but it is funny because he is kind of getting the James White feel.
Yep. We got start 3 full PPR. We got Waddle, Swift, Zeke, Godwin, Jeff Wilson, Rashad White.
All right.
You're gonna play Waddle, smash matchup against. He is questionable, right? But is it looking like
he was not on the inactive? He was not on the inactive.
Well, they don't play till tomorrow or tonight, right?
It's tonight.
Tonight, okay. If he plays, I'm going Waddle. Well, he won't know, but
you got to go Waddle. He's not.
Here, let me go. Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say the person I really saw more on the injury report this week was Tyreek Hill over Waddle.
Waddle doesn't have an injury.
Yeah, no injury. So you're playing Waddle. I think here now my question. I'm looking at the running backs here: Jeff Wilson, Zeke, Swift, and Rachaad White, because I'm trying my best to get Godwin in there.
I know. I don't know if he can.
But with those running back options, like you said, I don't know if you can.
I think you gotta go. I think you gotta put Zeke in, and I think you gotta play Swift after what he showed you last week. It's still not the trustworthy thing, and Godwin might be the safer play, even though it's harder to throw the ball in the middle of the field. But he's just been getting so many targets, man.
I think I agree with you slightly.
I agree.
Slightly here. I'm going with your safe plays as Waddle and Zeke. All right. Now, I think, Rachaad White over Swift a little bit more as a safe option, because we've seen this from Swift, like you said before. We've gotten the one-off where he's gotten it trending in his direction with the touches, and then it's right back to Jamal Williams the next week. So that's what I'm afraid of here, is them flip-flopping back to Jamal Williams here. If we get one more week of Swift trending in that upward direction, it's Swift all day, every day. But if it goes back to even or leaning Jamal Williams, that's what I'm afraid of here for you. So I think Rachaad White is a little bit of a safer play, guaranteed his workload. Because we know that, even with Leonard Fournette, Rachaad White's still going to get involved here. And like we said, good defense. They get after the quarterback. It could be a week where Leonard Fournette and Rachaad White get like 15 catches combined.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess this is one that we're not going to really agree on. So I'm sorry, Edward. Because, I'm going to probably go Waddle.
Swift is definitely the ceiling play. I mean, I agree with you on that. It's just I don't trust the trend just yet because
I hear you. Week. Yep. I'm going to go, just to give you a final answer, I'm going to go Waddle's, Zeke, it's Swift.
And it's Waddle, Zeke, and Rachaad White for me. But it is close between him and Swift. If you want to go
Godwin, though, too, Mike, that's what surprises me. You go on Rachaad White over Chris Godwin. That surprises me a little bit, to be honest.
I'll have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure Rachaad White, granted, that last touchdown helped him score more than Chris Godwin did last week. Mm-hmm. I think. I could be wrong here. I got to go look it up, though. We'll move on to our next question here, though.
I got you.
We'll look it up.
From Dion, what's up, man? Good to see you again back for week 14. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't hit the like button or subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it if you did so at this time.
Both of us would. And he did score more than Chris Godwin because of that last touchdown.
Right on.
So Rachaad White just last week in a tough matchup against New Orleans scored more than Chris Godwin. So I think that adds a little bit more safety to it.
Sure.
That's why.
From Dion, we got Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Rachaad White, Deonta Foreman. Need 2 receivers and 1 flex.
Let's knock out the receivers first.
And you're going DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes, with the Deshaun Watson switch of QB. I mean, Cooper, he's probably going to get the volume here, but are they good targets coming out of Watson's hands?
I think this is where we go Rachaad White as the flex play.
Yes, it's. I think I agree with you here. It's Keenan Allen, it's Hopkins for your 2 wide receivers, and then it is Rachaad White for your flex play, as you're saying. But I mean, Foreman is a good option there. Seahawks, I was looking it up. They are the 3rd worst at allowing the most points.
Yeah, that might be a sneaky decent play. So yeah, I get it. I still slightly lean Rachaad White. We got a question from Dino again. We got Metcalf or Palmer. Mike Williams sounds like he's going to be good to go tonight, so that I'm going to lean Metcalf here.
Yeah, I lean Metcalf here. There were reports, though, that he some sort of injury. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he is off of it. They're monitoring it, but it's J.K. Dobbins. I mean, not Dobbins, DK Metcalf. Sorry, sharing this over here. My bad.
From Kevin, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Really debating on starting Geno over Tua this week. Geno has been consistent. You're absolutely right. He has been. But I don't think it's the week this week. I really like Tua's matchup against the Chargers, and I think that game's going to score a ton of points. So that's why I lean Tua this week over Geno.
So, wow, that actually surprised me. The past 3 weeks, Geno has actually outscored Tua. Now, Tua has been banged up, though. I remember him getting taken out early in that game against the Niners for Skylar Thompson. So, I mean, he really hasn't had the same go at it as Geno. But they've all been tough matchups. I mean, he's got a great matchup here against the Chargers. They do like to – it's easy to run the ball against them, but it's not hard to throw the ball against them either. So, right. And that's their shtick. They're gonna throw the ball here. So, I do think Tua is still the play I would go over Geno, just because of the weapons.
Yep.
I think the weapons are slightly better with Miami.
Which Dolphin to start, Jeff Wilson or Mostert? Man, flip a coin. I'm gonna lean Jeff Wilson still. I know Mostert out-touched him last week, but I think it was the 2 weeks previous. It was Jeff Wilson's backfield. So what are we really going to do here? What trend are we buying into?
I mean, the past 3 weeks, it's been a committee. Jeff Wilson's got 31 attempts, 24 for Raheem Mostert. I mean, Jeff Wilson's doing a little bit more with it, 5.2 a carry, but both got 2 touchdowns.
Because he's better.
That's true. Yeah. But Jeff Wilson is just slightly more involved. I know Raheem Mostert was his week last week, but Jeff Wilson has showed in at least the past 3 weeks. I mean, we're talking about recency bias here. It's still Wilson slightly over Mostert if you want to talk about safety, which makes Mostert's more of a ceiling play. He's the one that can get you a 60-yard touchdown run possibly, but if he doesn't, it's going to, probably be around like 60, 70 yards maybe.
Good luck, Kevin. Good luck in your matchup this week.
Yes.
Got Palmer and Mike Wilson's. Also have Zay Jones on the bench. You can't really trust Zay Jones, so I think that's where you keep him. He's hit or miss, man. We've seen him.
Yeah, he's boomer bust.
We've seen him be good multiple weeks in headline waiver wire articles and headline waiver wire videos and stuff.
And then he comes back with 2 catches. Now, granted, I know this was a good matchup, and Trevor Lawrence did get injured, but at the same time, guys, that's just not trustworthy. Now, do I trust Mike Williams right now off the injury, the last time with the injury? Not particularly. I think I almost lean Palmer in this case because I don't know if Mike Williams is 100% healthy.
I hear you. He's going to get snaps still too, but I still lean the upside of Mike Williams. He could absolutely blow up for you like we've seen in the past, or he can give you 5. That's just who he is. So, Don, if you're chasing some upside here, no, I don't even want to phrase it that way because it's not like Palmer doesn't have upside either because we've seen him make big plays.
I just think he's safer.
Too.
Yeah, he's safer. He's the underneath guy.
He probably is. So maybe then I should go Josh Palmer as well. But
I'm reminiscing of Mike Williams' last game, and I'm going, where's Mike Williams? Why isn't he out on the field? Where's Mike Williams? They said he was healthy. What? Oh, he re-aggravated his injury. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. And then you're stuck with Mike Williams in your starting spot where you got Palmer on the bench eating up all the points that he should be getting because Mike Williams is out. So I lean Palmer slightly as a safer option just because of the injury with Mike Williams. If he wasn't dealing with an injury designation all week, he came back after 1 week and was kind of healthy throughout the whole week. Different story. But Mike Williams only got a full practice in on Friday, I'm pretty sure.
Sure. Yeah, no, I hear you. And all right with you, I guess. Let's go Palmer over Williams for this week at least. From Dion, also, I lost my undefeated season. Man, sorry to hear that. I'm going to be the number one seed. Do I play around with players as what they do, or do I stick with my main ones and keep rolling? Just keep rolling on them. Just keep rolling on.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything.
You're getting the same evaluation with them on your bench anyways, your other guys. So, yeah, just stay with what you're doing.
Just be looking out for matchups into your playoffs. That's what I'd be looking ahead.
Yes. Yep. See if you be looking at like which defenses to stream. If you got defenses in your league and stuff, keep paying attention to their matchup. It's a good time of year to have 2 different defenses on your bench. You're welcome, then.
Yeah, you're welcome, Kevin.
And then we got one more. Thanks, guys. Last one. Keep T. Higgins starting or put Kirk in with the better matchup, man. Fuck. This is really tough because I talked about already how good the matchup was, and I agree with you, and I get the thought. But T. Higgins is just so awesome. He's battling Jamar Chase for targets, obviously. And usually when like Joe Burrow blows up, Jamar Chase blows up. Mike, I don't know. You've probably seen that trend as well. So do you think it's going to be a huge Jamar Chase game? And T. Higgins was kind of down a little bit last week. He's getting a touchdown to save his week. And I just think, and it's going to be Trevor Lawrence today, right? I didn't miss the news of him being out.
Yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence.
I think Kirk's just going to get peppered with targets, man. But I don't know how I could sit T. Higgins. What do we do here?
Is this
and I'm a T. Higgins owner too, and I also
if this is PPR, I'm leaning Kirk. If this is PPR, I'm leaning Kirk. If it's half-point PPR, I lean T. Higgins. Because now that Jamar Chase is back, T. Higgins is not getting the volume he once was.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, it gives him more of that, half-point PPR upside because he still has the ability to go for a long touchdown. All right. Yeah. If it's PPR, I'm leaning Christian Kirk. If it's half-point PPR, I'm going T. Higgins.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's where we go. But that one's...
It's tough. That's a good problem to have.
And I hope we're just not getting too cute with putting T. Higgins on the bench and he scores 2 touchdowns. That's what scares me. Because in my opinion, I think he is the red zone target, too, that they look for in the end zone. And I think Chase has more of the long touchdown upside.
I'm looking up his stats.
Kevin says Cleveland. It is PPR. My other starting wide receiver is CD. Sounds a lot like my team.
So I'm looking here at T. Higgins' previous game against Cleveland. He had 3 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a whole lot there. I mean, the volume is not there. Let's go to like previous years. Let's see what last year he did. I mean, last year he had 6 for 8 for 78. 6 of 8, 6 receptions, 8 targets, 78 yards. No touchdown though. And then it doesn't look like he was healthy for the other Cleveland game. So he only made one of those games as well. So, I mean, he really doesn't, he's gotten 1 double-digit performance against Cleveland, and it's because of a touchdown. So I do think Kirk is just a little bit safer here, in my opinion, especially being PPR.
Yeah, I don't love sitting T. Higgins, let me tell you, but I think that's theoretically on paper the better play. I did see that too, Dion, with the guys faking injuries. I saw that Dennis Allen got fined, right? And so did Cameron Jordan, correct?
There was also, I'm pretty sure, I saw it was on a Come On Man last week for Monday night. It was Jesse Bates for the Bengals faked an injury because they were switching personnel and they were going to get called for a 12th man on the field.
Yeah.
And he faked an injury so that they couldn't get the flag on him too. So I that was the one I thought you were originally talking about. What was going on with Cameron Jordan and
I thought that's what I saw. I might have been wrong, but I thought I saw them get fined yesterday. I don't know, Dion, if you're still watching.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
What you're talking about, or if you're talking about the Jesse Bates thing. But we got about 15 minutes, Mike. Why don't hold on, we just got another one from Kevin. Yep. Or I could start all 3 Higgins, Kirk, and Lamb, but I'd be taking Pacheco out of my flex. You might be different here, Mike. You already know what I'm going to say. You're going the receiver.
I think you do it. I think you do it. Yeah, it's PPR. I mean, Pacheco's not getting much of the PPR work. He gets the red zone work here. All right, but that is a tough matchup. I mean, Higgins, Kirk, and Lamb. I mean, I think all have safer floors than Pacheco this week. So I can get behind this, Kevin. I could do it. I would do it, especially being PPR. You get a little bit more of advantage starting a wide receiver in the flex in a PPR.
Yeah, I mean, especially when that running back doesn't catch passes.
It would be different if you had a running back that caught passes. Then it'd be like, all right, we're leaning this running back because you get the rushing floor and the passing floor. But Pacheco is clearly just rushing. Where these guys, you're going to get more of a ceiling and more of a floor being PPR. So I think you go the 3 wide receivers.
Yep. Oops. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Mike Stevens here. Thank you for the question, man. This is a good one. Tom Brady or Kirk Cousins today?
On paper, you say Kirk Cousins because
our buddy Ike is choosing between this one today.
On paper, it looks good for Kirk, but the Lions have been playing better, especially defensively. And it's not a good matchup for Tom Brady either. And he's just kind of been and he would have been but he threw the touchdown to Rashad White last week to kind of save the week a little bit. It saved my playoff hopes in one of my leagues, so I appreciate that, Tom. But Tito said he misses Ike, man. That's funny. And he's not from people, man. He doesn't want to be here the last couple weeks. He did say, I'll throw this rumor out here, he might join us next week for the fantasy playoffs. So you want to see Ike's face, tune in next week, Tino. But back to our Tom Brady or Kirk Cousins.
It's Kirk for me.
I think you go Kirk too. Brady's just
it's Kirk for me. Yeah, if it was a better matchup, I'd lean Brady. It's not a great matchup. San Francisco 49ers top 5 at stopping QBs in fantasy. So I don't like Tom Brady, but it's all about who you are depending on.
And Minnesota's offense is just better, right? I think that's safe to say this season because of the offensive line problems and all.
I mean, the Lions allow the most. The Lions allow the most yards per game, and then number 2 is the Vikings. So I like the Vikings-Lions game this week. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. So I'm leaning Kirk. It's just a better matchup. I mean, if this was Tom Brady over Deshaun Watson, different story. I'm going Tom Brady. But we got a nice, solid, safe option here in Kirk Cousins. So I'm leaning Kirk over Tom.
Yeah, and then Diaz said, New Orleans got nailed for $55,000. And Cam and
he was talking Bates.
Yep.
Yeah, that was wild. I can't believe that he got away with that, Jesse Bates.
You're welcome, Mike. Yep. And then what else we got here?
Ooh.
Gabe Davis or Adam Thielen? Give me Gabe. I know. I'm sticking with it, though. Give me Gabe.
Thielen for me. Stealing for me in a good matchup here. Like I said, I think this is a high-scoring game between the Vikings and the Lions. I don't think either defense can stop either offense.
You got Cousins, Goff, or Danny Dimes. Do we like Goff more than Cousins? I might, man.
There's a little bit of because if I think the thing is, do we think the Vikings are actually going to win by more than one possession? They really haven't.
No, I think this game's going to be very close, man, in a division game. And I think like you said, there's going to be points to be scored in this game.
I lean Cousins slightly because I look at Goff and Cousins as the same volume aspect of it. But Cousins has the better weapons, which gives him a little bit more of a ceiling upside.
And then you get Jamal Williams coming in and stealing a lot of touchdowns that could go Goff's way too. Yes. So maybe we're right here. Maybe you go Cousins slightly over Jared Goff, but I like both of them, and I like both of them over Danny Dimes.
I think Cousins offers the ceiling and the floor this week, where I think Goff only offers the floor, and same with Danny.
Yep. Here's your guy, Mike John. Should Devonta Smith or DK with DK's hip? I think with DK's hip being an issue, you probably just go Devonta Smith, right? He's good too. So I don't have really any issue with that.
Yeah. Have the Eagles played the Giants yet this year? So I'm looking up Devonta Smith.
I'm not sure that they have.
No.
I'm going to say they got up twice here.
No, they haven't. That actually surprises me. Wow. I would have shocked that. I'm actually shocked there because you get them to play the Giants twice in the next 2 weeks. And then the Commanders and the Giants also play twice because they played last week. They Commanders have their bye this week. Then they're going to come out of the bye and play the Giants. They did that NFC East real dirty with the schedule late in the year. Mm-hmm. I do think, yes, because with the hip injury with DK, you do have a solid option in Devonta Smith there. I still think the safer play is DK. He gets more volume than Devonta Smith, unfortunately. I mean, I love Devonta Smith. Great wide receiver. But DK Smith, the way that offense is running in Seattle, you got Kenneth Walker out. DK is technically the safer play this week. But if you're worried about the injury, it's completely fine to put Devontae Smith in there, being worried with the injury. But I still think DK is the safer play.
Barring re-injury to the hip, of course.
Barring re-injury. That's the thing, though. I mean, it's popped up. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't bad enough to where he was held out of all of his practices. So I'm like, it's one of those ones where I'm looking at him like Mike Williams, but I also look at DK Metcalf and I'm like, man, this man is a specimen. Mike Williams is not a specimen.
Yeah. We got Dobbins or Gus Edwards. I think it's Edwards for the week, and just see what's kind of going on with Dobbins. Yeah, see if how much they work him in.
I still think there'll probably be around even touches, but it's Edwards is a little bit safer there.
Yep, we got about 7 minutes, left. So why don't we just hit some rapid fire from these questions?
All right, you let me know if we get any live ones here then.
Yep.
All right. Najee, Miles Sanders, James Conner, Leonard Fournette, Travis Etienne, and I'm not even going to ask him because we're not even going to throw him in there. But out of those 5, got to start 2 because the 6th option was J.K. Dobbins, but he's not even in that conversation. So you got Najee, Miles Sanders, James Conner, Fournette, and Etienne.
It's Najee and Etienne for me.
It's Najee and Etienne for you.
Yes.
It's Fournette and Najee for me, I think.
Okay.
Because of the whole check down scenario I got going through my head with the Bucks. Marquise Brown or Zay Jones?
That's Marquise Brown.
Yes, sir. All right. Isaiah Pacheco or Deontay Foreman? It's a standard league.
Isaiah Pacheco, Deontay Foreman. Give me Pacheco slightly over Foreman in standard with Kansas City leading in this game. I think the Pacheco might see a ton of volume, and I think he'll be okay. So go Pacheco in that.
Yeah, it is a solid matchup, though, for Deontay Foreman. I just think being in standard league, you want safety and security with a good offense, and Pacheco's on a good offense. Very good chance he could get 2 touchdowns. But, I mean, outside of the yards, though, that's probably going to be awarded to Foreman. Foreman's probably going to beat him on the yards for the day.
Then we do get a live one from Connor. We answered it earlier. Deshaun Watson or Tannehill. I went Watson. Connor, hoping with another week of practice. He's a little bit better this week. And the volume's going to be more than Tannehill, and Mike went Tannehill here. So we're not really helping you a whole lot.
It's just safer. I mean, if you like to risk it for the biscuit, Connor, throw Watson in there. But don't be surprised if he doesn't do well. If you want to play it safe, you know what you're going to get, throw Tannehill in there.
Yeah.
All right. Dean's got one here, too. Hopkins, Juju, Michael Gallup, or Garrett Wilson?
If one's sitting, you're sitting Garrett Wilson. You're sitting Michael Gallup. If two's sitting, you're sitting Juju as well with Gallup. You're playing Wilson and Hopkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even if it's PPR, half PPR, I agree with you. All right. Jamal Williams or Devin Singletary here from John?
Damn, man.
Well, we're talking about 2 running backs that pretty much have the same role.
Yeah, and there's
just one's got more touchdowns.
Give me Jamal Williams and his leading fucking touchdowns or whatever it is, rushing touchdowns.
It's just a little bit safer with Williams, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd love to put Singletary in there for you, but it's Williams slightly. Just because, even with DeAndre Swift trending up, it's still Williams. If it's one more week, though, then I'd be more predicated to getting Williams out of there for the next week. But we'll move on to some rapid fire here. Zeke, Jeff Wilson, or Foreman? Uno.
Jeff Wilson or Foreman. Zeke. Yep.
That's Zeke. All right. Foreman or Michael Gallup in the flex? I seen your answer. It's Foreman. And it's Foreman for me, too, as well. Ooh, that's a good one. Amari Cooper or Deebo Samuel?
Deebo.
I like Deebo with Purdy. I think there's a little bit more a floor there offered now that we're going to get some of those play action boot arounds and all that.
Gadget stuff for sure.
Yeah.
They're to figure out ways to get their playmakers the ball. So
that's what I'm thinking here. It's going to be just short dump offs. Do what we need to do. Looks like White or Hollywood if Cooper doesn't go. Okay, so Rashad White or Hollywood Brown if Cooper doesn't go. So Cooper is a go. I still go Hollywood over Cooper, though.
There with you as well.
But and now this is what I'm not sure if it is Rachaad White. He just says White. If it is Rachaad White, I do lean Rachaad White a little bit over Hollywood, though, because there is a little bit more volume there for White. But if it's not Rachaad White, it's Hollywood.
Yeah, I can see either way. We got a live one here from Juan. What's up?
We got a live one.
We got Debo or Chris Godwin full PR flex. Give me Debo. Give me Debo.
That's a good one.
Fred Warner patrol in the middle of the field. I'm taking Debo here.
Yeah. If it was Jimmy G, I'd be taking Chris Godwin. Because it's Purdy, I'm taking Debo. It is a close one, though. Those are I bet if we ask Joe right now, I bet those two are pretty close in their rankings.
Yeah, I'd assume they are for sure.
If we asked Ike, it'd take 5 minutes for him to get his rankings.
Yeah, you have to pull it up.
Hopefully you're watching, Ike. One more here. We got Amari Cooper, Fournette, Gabe Davis, or Mike Williams. Pick two.
Fournette and Gabe Davis. Say it again.
It's Amari Cooper, Fournette, Gabe Davis, and Mike Williams. I hate agreeing with you, but I think I
think that's what it is too. We got one more live one for
I think it is.
Probably close the show out. We got Deshaun Watson, Brady, or Mike White. I think I slightly lean Tom Brady over Watson here.
Ooh. You're not even going to consider Mike White, huh?
No, I'm going to disrespect him still. 4 picks against the Bills last season. That's why I'm on him. I know he's a different player now. Probably got a little bit more swagger.
I think Brady's your safe play. Mike White's your ceiling play. If you wanna risk it for the biscuit, you play Mike White. He could get 300 yards. He might get a couple picks, but I don't think. I mean, do you see? I gotta ask you realistically. Can you see Tom Brady getting 300 passing yards against the San Francisco 49ers? Because I don't know if I can.
I can see him dink and dumping his way on 65 attempts to 300 passing yards. Yeah.
that's like the only way I think it's gonna happen, though.
For sure. But we got one more, Mike, and then we're gonna close out the show. We appreciate all the questions, guys, and good morning to you, Trey, as well. Full PPR start 2. Got Juju, Boyd, Singletary, Judy, Rachaad White. I'm forced to start Dulcich if that impacts Judy. Thanks and good luck today. You as well, Trey. And you can go ahead and give me Rachaad White.
Yes.
And I really don't like playing Dulcich and Judy together, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Where do we go, Mike, on this other one? Juju's game script's not going to be great because it's that same game, and the matchup isn't great because Denver's defense is good. You got Tyler Boyd, who's solid with Jamar Chase in the lineup. Boyd slides into his slot role and the third option in the passing game. And then you got Singletary just out there doing Singletary things.
It's between Singletary and Juju. All right. I'm really not a fan of playing 2 players from the same radioactive offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. If you can get away with just playing Dulcich, that's fine. But starting 2 guys from the Broncos, that's going to be real tough. That's tough for me to do, to hit that submit button with 2 Broncos players. That is really tough to do for me. All right, so it's Rachaad White, and it's between Singletary and Juju. I think Singletary offers you more of a safe floor.
Yeah.
Where Juju can offer you more of a little bit of a ceiling, because even though it is a tougher matchup, Juju can still have a good game in a tough matchup. All right. If they lock down Travis Kelce, I mean, it's not like Mahomes is going to be throwing deep on Denver. I don't think so. Denver's got a solid defense to where it's going to be a lot of underneath stuff, which Juju really accelerates in, is those underneath coverages.
Yeah. I'm going to go Singletary or White. Those are my picks. But, Mike, why don't you go ahead and take us out? We're running a little late.
Nah, it's for the fans, guys.
It's for the people.
It's for the people. That's what we're here for. All right, guys. We had a blast again last week before the fantasy playoffs. Please make sure you guys subscribe, like, do whatever you need to. We're on whatever platform you watch this We really appreciate just all the support. Appreciate
we
you too, Trey. All right, and we appreciate all the great questions we get. All right, make sure you check out the Last Call podcast that will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning, whichever one me and Dylan decide to do, either in the morning or at night. Check out the podcast on Monday with Richard, his podcast, and then check out the podcast on Thursday with Joe. Make sure you check out fantasy6pack.net/plans if you want any late advice going into the fantasy playoffs, guys. We can help you win. We want to help you win. This is our goal. But, I already hit like and subscribe.
Hit it again.
Make sure you do it twice, guys. We really appreciate it. But other than that, just make sure you keep checking out our YouTube channel and check out fantasy6pack.net. There's always content flowing out. Other than that, for Dylan, I'm Mike. Guys, good luck in Week 14. We hope you make your playoffs.